tire came up. Well, they may say she didn't have traction control. I thought I clicked in when the front tire came up on third gear and ride this bike to give my butt a break, especially on the trail. Marauders, welcome back to the channel. This is not my first new bike in 45 years. This is not. This is my second new bike in 45 years. And I got this bike obviously specifically for trail riding, but I felt it was important to also have a bike that can run the street. What I'm doing now is, and I did purchase this bike, what I'm doing now is I'm riding it to get 40 miles on it for the first oil change, because our ride in Allegheny National Forest, our first ride, may be over 70 miles, and I want to get a new batch of oil in it. So the dealer said, you know what, ride it for 40 miles, we'll dump the oil and change it, put your tires, upgraded tires on it, and then you should be set for the weekend ride, the 2-day ride in the forest. I won't go into the upgrades. I'm going to do that a little later in the video, but I will tell you it's a 2024 KTM EXC-F 500 6 days edition. I did not want the 6 days edition, but it had dual mapping and traction control on it, and this is a big question whether this really works or not, because I think this, even though this button's here and it lights up, KTM doesn't have this operational yet. So I'm hoping that they'll come up with a software upgrade for it will work. The standard EXC-F 500 non 6 days version did not have that. So let's get going on the road, and I'll talk while I'm driving. So first off, it's been 45 years since I've been, since I purchased an Enduro. Probably 40 years since I've been on an Enduro motorcycle. Very old school, 1977 Honda DT 175 Enduro. Long time. Technology has really changed. That was a 175 Yamaha Enduro set up for the street. Totally different motorcycle. I actually think this bike is much lighter than that bike. This bike is about 250 pounds. That's what KTM excels at, is making very lightweight performance motorcycles, and it's really tough. There's so much competition in everything, especially motorcycle nowadays. But in my opinion, from what I've researched, in many ways KTM is the best. Does not mean they're the least expensive. They might be the most expensive dirt bike to buy. So it doesn't mean that they're necessarily the least expensive or the least expensive to maintain. The oil, I think, it holds a quart of oil, and it's very high performance. The engine is built around weight. I think it's 65 pounds. The whole deal is that you need to change the oil frequently on these, and also check the valves on them frequently. So one of the drawbacks to buying a premium off-road bike like a KTM is that the maintenance on it is very high. But also to counter that is everything depreciates, but these bikes depreciate a little slower than their competition, and they get to a point where they seem to stabilize and hold their value at a certain point, maybe 5-6 years down the road. I want to say around that $9,000 or $10,000 mark. KTM is a ton of accessibility of parts, aftermarket parts by many manufacturers. A lot of KTMs out there on the road. Again, this mapping switch, I don't know if it will, hopefully soon that they'll release software to enable that mapping switch. I'd like to tone down the power initially, especially for off-road riding, and I definitely wanted traction control. To my knowledge, Beta is the only bike in this league, I could be wrong, leave a comment. Beta, which is an excellent motorcycle, has dual mapping and has traction control. EPA emissions seem to be a little lighter on a Beta. First thoughts on the test ride. The bike, it's tough for me to go from my street bike, which I'm going to share that with you in the future. I'm waiting for accessories to come in to share that motorcycle with you. But I did buy also a street bike, mainly a street bike, not a dual sport, and I want to share that motorcycle with you. But I thought this bike was kind of neat, and I thought I would share it with you. So I got to rack up 40 miles on this thing and bring it back to the dealer. They're going to change the tires, the Dunlop tires, DOT tires that are a little more aggressive than the stock tires. By the way, the stock tires on this, which they're going to box up for me, they ride great. There is not a lot of tire noise from them, and they say the front tire is weak. So my first dirt bike, in my opinion, was underpowered for my size. Even at 13 years old, I was a big kid. I looked like I was a 17-year-old. And I have always tried to get bikes, any ATVs, off-road equipment that had adequate power. And certainly this motorcycle does. It has plenty of torque, especially for off-road. I'll be lucky if this bike sees 30 miles an hour with me off-road. This bike has very nice power. I did not want a two-stroke. I wanted a flat power curve. I didn't want to get on the pipe on a two-stroke and have the engine really power up and run wild. So that's the reason why I went with a four-stroke. The seat is brutal, and Seat Concepts, which I think is the premier aftermarket seat for dirt bikes, maybe all motorcycles, they are 3 to 4 weeks. They hand make their seats, custom order, semi-custom order probably, and I couldn't get a seat. I wanted to overnight it. I would have paid extra to overnight a seat. Sorry about the bad shifting. One of the reasons why I wanted the 500 over the 350 is I don't want an off-road queen sitting in my garage. I wanted a bike that, in case I don't want to take out my street bike, I could hop on this and take it out, maybe ride it to work or ride it to some place. I'm getting bags for this bike, soft bags. You'll see that later on in the video. I wanted a bike that I could put on the street. When I can't make it off-road, I could put it on the street. So that's why I went with a dual sport. That was definitely a must-have. I am a big fan of Big Rock Moto, along with other YouTube channels. And all his bikes dual sport. He buys only dual sport bikes if he's not buying an adventure bike. And his requirement is it has to be able to go on the street, because California is very strict on that. To ride on their off-road trails, they need to be street legal. So that's what I did. Clutch is really interesting on this bike. It really grabs early on in the throw. When I bring it back, I have to ask him about that. Yeah, she's a runner. For the street, that's nice. For the dirt, I don't want to get any place near that for the dirt. So lugging it in 6th gear, just lugging it. No gear indicator on this. Vibration, a lot of vibration on this hard seat. It is hard. I will see how I do on the trail, and I have to stand I'm probably going to have to stand a lot on our ride as much as possible and be careful, and hopefully my legs will be strong enough to stand or squat. I'm going to have to do that. But let's get her down and see how she chugs. My mirrors are horrible. I cannot see behind me on this bike. I got to move my body to see behind me. See who's behind. Let's test the brakes. Let's do it. The brakes are okay. I think they need to brake. So I'm 24 miles an hour, 6th gear. Let's drop the throttle. That's amazing. She's a torque monster. She is a torque monster. I actually don't like how sensitive it is in 1st and 2nd gear. I'm really going to have to work the throttle on the trail and maybe change the front sprocket. What a torque monster. She's a babe, boy. So, couple things that I can show you from the seat that you get on the 6 days edition opposed to a regular KTM. You get this traction. Guys, GoPro woes. I'm not sure, but I think my GoPro cut out on me, and I got a fleet of cars behind me. You know what? I'm gonna let them pass. Let's let them pass. Two cars, not a fleet. I'm not so sure how much I'm going to have to watch this video, see how much you got. I'm not sure when my GoPro camera cut out. Boy, I had some really nice dialogue in there too for you. Very, very light bike. Feels light. We'll see how it is on the dirt, but on the street, she's light. About 250 pounds. She's about 250 pounds. I should keep checking my camera and make sure it's on. I'm not sure when the video cut off, so I'll start in. Again, I got my turn signal on. I gotta remember to cancel that. Just hit 20 miles. So real fast, sitting from the cockpit, what you get on the 6 days bike is you get this map control and traction control switch, which doesn't work because I guess KTM is working with the EPA on the software for it, which I hope they get soon. That's the big reason why I jumped to this bike. I didn't care about some of the glitz that it has on it or the 6 days. That wasn't important to me. She throws you back in the seat. She really throws you back in the seat. So I didn't care about the glitz on the bike, but I'll talk about some of it. The fork clamps are anodized in this goldish orange. Boy, she handles the turns really nice. Wow, she handles the turns nice. That's an upgrade, which I didn't care about. I really wanted the future potential of the traction control and mapping. And the dealer just happened to have this set of bark busters in the same color, which match perfectly the triple clamps, and I'm just thrilled over that. Just thrilled over it. So maybe this bike was meant to be. This morning I changed from the standard KTM to the 6 days. Because of that switch, it really bothered me that it didn't have the map controller and traction control. Hopefully in the future they'll have the update for that. Of course, again, you don't get the standard KTM colors, which I like very much. You get this six days enduro scheme, and stickers. They're basically stickers, and also you get a fancy orange goldish anodized guard for the chain on the left side, rear side of the bike, and then on the right side I have something. They're going to order a protector for the rear brake disc. The seat is blue, if you can see that, very hard. Camera's still on. Seat is hard. Oh my gosh, it's hard. And I'm probably going to have to learn to stand and ride this bike to give my butt a break, especially on the trail. Ergonomics, other than the hard seat, the foot peg position is good. I got to work on the pegs. The ride on the street, for what it is, I think is pretty doggone good. I have stiffer springs for my body weight ordered. I'm not going to be in a hurry to get those on until I get the seat. They have them ordered, and this dealership is experts at off-road riding, especially motocross, Hebler Motorsports, and we'll see how it goes. They're going to take a little bit of the sag out of the rear spring for my weekend ride, and we'll go from there. As far okay, let's talk briefly about the engine. I'm going to slow down. I'm in 6th gear. I'm going to slow down. I don't know if anyone's behind me. No one's behind me. I'm going to slow down. 24, 20, 26. Okay, let's drop the throttle, 6th gear, 22 miles an hour. What an animal. What, you know, people put KTM down for their quality, and, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, people say what they want. Maybe they're not the best quality bike, but you have to give engineering, hats off to their engineering. I'm gonna pull over. Oop, I whacked up the rear tire. Okay, I'm gonna pull over. I want to turn around here. Oh, Bailey, she's a dream. Front tire came up. Well, they may say she didn't have traction control. I thought I kicked in when the front tire came up on 3rd gear. She started to spin the rear tire, and I think she caught herself. So, more than enough power for the street. She's well, you'll see my street bike. I hope you like it. She's beautiful. Just beautiful. I'm very happy with it. As hard as the seat is, I'm getting used to it. I'm going to keep the camera rolling because I want you to see. I want to keep it in this next, might edit it out, but I want you to see this next section of road. Of course, there's no protection for the rider, none whatsoever. You guys hear me say this, nice, I overuse the word nice. I love it. I love it. I'm riding a dream, guys. I've worked hard for this. I can't tell you how hard I've worked out. I'll tell you this, I'll keep it simple and short. I've been exercising almost every day. Gotta slow down a little, I'm driving too fast. I've been exercising almost every day, eating a third of what I ate 4 or 5 months ago to get in shape and lose weight to ride motorcycle. And it's paid off. I've lost, in the last 2 months, I've lost over 30 pounds. I'm over 100 pounds from 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. and I'm gonna knock off another 20 pounds. And KTM, baby, that's all I'm saying. KTM. She's a torque monster, and I hope I can tame it off-road. That's my, if you ask me, my number one concern is I hope I can baby her down on the off-road. I don't want to go fast. I just want to keep pace with my great riding guys, the trail rangers, and that's it. I don't want to impress anyone. I'm not motocrossing. I want to, this bike is my training bike to do adventure riding off-road. I'm going to relearn how to trail ride on a motorcycle on this bike. That's its goal. And I thought, well, maybe I'll trade it. Maybe I'll trade it on a future bike after I get used to trail riding on it. But right now, no way. No way. And I have to put that order in for that, the seat. I'm probably going to do that late this afternoon. She is so light. She's a dream on these turns. I want to keep you on because I want to do these next sections of turns on the bike. I'm going to drop it down a gear. This is 35. I'm going to leave the camera on, and I'm going to take you, this is my next favorite section of road coming up. We'll zip through that. Gotta slow down, I'm speeding. I don't want to do that. Let's slow down. I stopped, our sun is going down around 7 o'clock now. I stopped riding at night. A lot of the videos you guys haven't seen. Boy, she is a dream on the road to handle. She is a dream. Very light. Very light motorcycle. The brakes need some work. I think it's about 64 horsepower. That's what I've seen to find on the internet. KTM doesn't have horsepower specs on their site, but I think she's 64 horsepower, and that's more than what I need. Where that horsepower is nice for me is on the street. I think this is 55 here. Fun bike. Fun bike. And the engine, I'm very happy how smooth the engine is. I'm gonna drop, you know what? I'm gonna drop a gear. Getting used to the clutch. I'm a big fan of trail braking. Big fan of trail braking. I think it's a great practice. I've had to learn that over the last 3 months, and I really like it. Probably dropped too many gears on that. Just a couple comments. A lot of vibration in the handlebars, on the foot pegs, and on the seat. Believe it or not, even with all that vibration, I can still see out of these mirrors. I can't see anything behind me, but I can see out of the rear view mirrors. One more turn, I'll take you through, and then I'm going to head back to the dealership and shut the camera off. I should be at my 40 miles. Last set of turns, we'll rocket through it. Not big turn. I thought there was a couple more big ones up here. I haven't ridden this in a couple weeks. Okay, so I'm in fourth gear. Let's drag around this. This is a 20-mile-an-hour turn. She's just... Alright, Marauders, I think that's the end of the turn. We'll cut this. I'll cut you off. I'll take you inside when the bike is, when she's done.